What's up everyone, Alex here. I'm doing another PSP video today because the one I made a few days ago, about when I made it, or literally straight after, version 1.14 just came out. It's a pretty substantial update, which means some games are now playable and there have been improvements to several others. I don't know if this is on the Google Play Store yet, but you can download it from the website and sideload it to your Retroid Pocket, which I showed how to do in my last video. And to make this video more interesting, I thought we could have a look at some more games, but I also thought we could look at 60 FPS patches because I'd just been looking at those past couple of days and got them working, and they're gorgeous and they're really worth having, so I'll show how to do that. So let's have a look at the settings first because a few things have changed. Back here where there was something like block transfer effects, that setting is now gone. In its place we have skip GPU readbacks. I don't know if they're similar, but basically I have that setting left on all the time. It helps a lot. I'm just going to scroll through the settings we have here. I'm always going to be trying to hit Vulkan and 3x. 3x is really good for this screen. It's basically the max resolution of the screen on this device. And for the 60 FPS patches, we're going to be turning it down to 2x for some games. And there's only one game I think I've tested where I need to change this to OpenGL. But some games, a few of them are going to run better in OpenGL. And yeah, we're just going to flick through these, see what I have on. In my last video, I had render duplicate frames to 60 Hz on, and I turned it off for games where it was causing problems. I just leave the setting off now because I don't see a lot of benefits to it, but when I am testing individual games, I do check to see if that one helps, but I just leave it off for now. We don't mess around with the texture stuff, but yeah, apart from that, everything's kind of similar apart from a few different things. I think some things have moved around here. We're keeping IO timing method too fast, but we might need to change that for some games. I showed God of War in the last video, we changed it for that, and that's basically it. Well, except for I always have enable cheats on, because you need to enable cheats to activate the 60 FPS patches. You can do this on a game-by-game basis, and when you do activate it, you will get... So there's a cheats folder inside the ppsspp folder, so hard to say, and inside there is where you're going to be finding the ini files for your games. They'll have a serial for the version of the game you have, so it might be the American, European, or Japanese version you have, so you have to double check that, and inside that ini is where you paste the 60 FPS codes. So I'm going to start off by having a look at MotorStorm, because with MotorStorm I'm going to need to change this to OpenGL. It just runs better, and when you change that you have to restart ppsspp, and for some reason on a per game basis it doesn't remember which backend you chose, so you have to, I think you have to keep changing that. I might be wrong, but yeah, let's have a look at MotorStorm. There we go. So here I have settings for the game. We are doing OpenGL 3x and skip GPU readbacks are on. We have lazy texture and vertex cache on. I think that setting is blanked out because of OpenGL. We got render duplicate frames to 60 Hz. I can't remember if I needed that for that. Aggressive for this setting here, and we may have changed the yeah, we changed that from fast to host. And oh, before I go through, okay, so when you do apply 60 FPS, so in cheats here, I've got it down here, 60 FPS fixed game speed. So I will leave links in my description to find these cheats. But when you apply these cheats, if you already have a save state, do not load that save state after you've applied the cheat. You need to restart the game again and get to the same point you were before, whatever. Just don't load the save state you already have before the cheat is activated. You can make save states after it's activated, but not before. So when I go to load now, let me turn this down a bit. This is the first race in the game. And MotorStorm is buttery smooth at 60 frames. It looks really, really good. I think getting 60 frames for a bunch of these games, especially on PSP, just really like makes it feel much more immersive and much more premium. Another thing about MotorStorm is if you're going to play this game, you should get the European version. Do not play the American version of the game. Apparently there are problems with the shadows in that version, where you might have to turn it off or do something else with cheats. If you just play the European version, you can have the shadows working perfectly fine, and when you apply the 60 FPS code to the game, you need to apply the European version of that code. But yeah, I'm glad I was told about this, because I don't know which MotorStorm I played on the PlayStation 3, but I remember really enjoying it, and I completely forgot about this series, and it's so fun. Well, and then the ragdoll's really fun when you crash as well. I probably shouldn't have chose a bike, but see what? Okay, so there are some games that are naturally already 60 FPS on the PSP. But the ones that aren't, they look so good when you apply these codes. And when you look for the codes on the forums, so again, I'll leave the link to the description, link to the video, link to the page in the description. There we go. Not all of them work. So there are some that will have problems, and there are some that will be 60 frames, but everything's double speed. So you can check them. There are a good amount of them that work properly, but just remember to restart your game and don't use save states from before activating that code. But yeah, I'm definitely going to play more of this on my own. This is sweet. I don't think we've seen it go down once. If it was going to go down at all, is when all those other cars are beside us, and we had the entire screen full of the cars and it didn't drop down. But yeah, the game must be played in OpenGL for it to play this smooth. So that's MotorStorm. Before I check any other games, I'm going to change it to Vulkan, since every other game I've tested needs Vulkan. The game's restarting and I need to go to the menu. So what should we look at next? There's loads of 60F patches. Before we do that, let's have a look at Killzone, because this is a game that works now. I never actually tested this before this patch, so this is the only way I've known to play it. And you definitely know this is this version, because in my last video, load and save state were on top of each other. Now they're on the side, which is nice, so I don't accidentally save or load. Do I have any cheats? I don't. You can also get this file, which is called cheat.db. I think I'll leave a link to that as well on how to get this. And when you do this, you press that, and there's a file inside your cheats folder called cheat.db, and then it just extracts all these codes. First-person camera hack? Ooh, so that's kind of cool. There's a lot of cheats. That's a lot of cheats. I didn't find a 60 frame for this one, but I don't know. Let's go back into the game.
I'll be passing you intel from our shadow marshals doing recon.
Actually, I just want to double check this. So I'll scroll down here and I change this one to both, not FPS, both.
On in the field. So listen up.
So this already is a 60 FPS game. I should have known that, but I just wanted to show that with the statistics. So here's the settings I have. We've got Vulkan at 3x. I'll use the D-pad so my thumb doesn't get in the way. I learned that from the last video. We've turned all these settings on here. We've got aggressive down here for low resolution for effects. That's strange. Why is the 60 Hz setting blanked out? We're in Vulkan. And then I/O timing. Simulate UMD delays. I'm not sure why it's on that. Let's put it to host. I can't remember why it was on there. And we've got Killzone playing very, very smooth. I never played this before. I'm pretty sure everyone expects Killzone to be a first-person shooter. I actually think this is kind of dope. Kind of reminds me of, I don't know why. I don't know why Cannon Fodder came to mind. But Killzone's pretty cool. I played the first Killzone. I don't remember if I played 2 and 3. But what I'd like to do is play Killzone 2 and 3 someday with the PlayStation Move controllers. Because I love motion controls, especially with shooting games. Like I've said this before, but I'm a big advocate of VR. I pretty much play VR every day. And if it wasn't for these handhelds, this year I probably would have only played VR games. I think the biggest console PC games I played this year were Elden Ring and God of War. Apart from that, I've mostly been playing emulated video games. Okay, so I got to this point before, and okay, you press like down on the D-pad to get off. But yeah, hasn't dropped at all. There's also something about this game that makes me want to play it. I'll probably play this one too. Ever since I did my last video on PSP, I've just suddenly realized I quite like a lot of the PSP library, and there's so many games. I've been watching like some other people's videos of PSP games and going, oh, I didn't know that game was on the PSP, and just like getting envy and wanting to download more games. I'm gonna die soon. I basically stopped playing a game on here, like when I die. There we go. That's a good test of Killzone. Let's have a look at some more 60 FPS games. So we looked at MotorStorm. Both Pursuit Fort games have 60 FPS patches. I don't want to test both of them. I think I want to test the second game because that's harder to run. And we can see here with cheats, 60 FPS is on. You do also get cheats for 30 FPS and 20 FPS. I keep those on just in case, you know, something might go wrong and I need to like turn those on for some reason. The settings, Vulkan 3x. It's the same deal between these games. Not a lot to change. Just some extra speed up options. Aggressive low resolution, and a probably changed IO timing method. Yep. So let's get into it. This game also beautiful in 60 frames. I really didn't think this game would run at 60 frames at 3x, but it does. Trust me to just drive into it. I went through a similar phase when I was testing out the Odin, and I started to find like 60 FPS codes for certain things, and that made me just want to play a ton more games on that thing. It's kind of sad now. The Odin, I actually have it switched off. Instead of having it on standby, I have it switched off, and it's in its case. It doesn't really get used now. But it is straight. Like, so the Odin Pro goes for nearly $300 now. The Retroid Pocket 3 Plus is a $150 device, and I'm choosing it over the Odin now. I tweaked around with my video settings as well, so I know in the future, if I do seriously do more videos on this channel for various different things, I know I'm going to need a new camera and a new room setup. I've in a lot of my recent videos, I've had like a low exposure and low light so that I was getting high frame rate in the video without too much glare. And when it gets too bright, the screen doesn't come across very well. So currently, it looks okay. But when the games are filled with white light, it's kind of difficult to get that proper representation of them. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful at 60 frames. Let's have a look at another game. I want to start off with 60 FPS patches first. So, I was looking at Portable Ops. So in my last video, I looked at Portable Ops Plus. This is just the regular Portable Ops. Got a 60 FPS. This one says version 4 and always. So some of these games, people have worked on the 60 FPS patches and have changed them over time. So now this one's probably got a very stable 60 FPS patch. Incredibly smooth. Oh yeah, you have to hold the button here to... Oh! He was struggling. There you go. Kick him in the face. Alright, so I set triangle to toggle. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, so Sakura Retro Modding is now making PlayStation style buttons for the Retroid Pocket 3. And that's pretty damn cool. I nearly bought some, but I've already bought a couple from him for the Odin and for the Mayu Mini. And the thing is, because of this clear purple, I wasn't sure if I would have loved PlayStation buttons on it. It seems strange to have that Nintendo Atomic Purple with PlayStation buttons. But I thought to myself, maybe I want to do something differently. And I've been seeing people on Reddit post how they've put PS Vita buttons and D-pads inside their Retro Pockets. I think it's kind of neat looking. I'm also heavily debating if I want to buy a different shell for the Retroid Pocket 3. Because you can buy individual shells for the Retro Pockets. They cost about $40 or $50 and they all come with screens. So if you crack your screen, you can buy a new shell with a brand new screen inside. And I love black, man. I do think this Atomic Purple is really cool. I actually really wanted to dye the Atomic Purple black because I think a see-through black shell would be really awesome. I'd love that. But the screens are like proper attached to the front of the case, so I can't do that. I'm just going to run up and punch him in the face, and then I'm going to change game. Did he shoot his mate? Go to sleep. Okay, let's have a look at Peace Walker, because in my last video, I had a 60 FPS code, and it didn't work. But now I have found a code that works. So Peace Walker is down here. And we can see here we've got 60 FPS. Oh, the always one didn't work, but the in-game one did. And I'm going to load that save state. And here you can see it's buttery smooth. But unfortunately, this is one of those games where my camera settings make it very hard to see the screen very well because of the light. So smooth now. In this game, I wish I've set because the D-pad is the way to use the camera, but it's a digital input. I wish there was a way of changing that for the right stick, so it's a bit more, I could be a little bit lighter with it. But yeah, super cool to see that running really smooth now. I don't want to play that one too much because I'll spend way too long. Burnout looks incredible. 60 FPS. There we got 60 FPS version 2. I think this is the American version of the game. And so there was a problem at the start, but then it just figures itself out and it's fine. And now this is at 60 frames. It's, yeah, it makes me want to play this too. I'm like massively a frame rate person. I'll pick frame rate over resolution every time. Like I'd pick 1440 60 frames over 4K 30, like every time. And now this is at 60 frames. It's like, I don't know, it's like I'm not really even missing Burnout 3 on here. And I have done a video on how to get Burnout 3 running on Aether SX2, running at a decent speed. Not a fantastic one, but a decent one. It's a very hard game to run. But the good news is you do have these PSP options. They're very fun to play. Burnout Legends also has a 60 frames code. I haven't tried it, because this is the only Burnout I've tried. We haven't dropped a single frame. Look at us go. I love how fast you can go in this game. Like, the better you do, your burnout just keeps filling up and up and up and up. I remember in older Burnout games, it's just so satisfying to be able to you get full boost and then maintain that boost throughout the entire track, one way or another. And then smashing into people, just take that. Sucker. I did not see that guy. Alright, let's get an aftertouch. Yeah, you think you're getting away. You're absolutely not. Oh no, he's you fucker. Nice. Alright, last guy. Let's just take him out, then we'll change game. There you go. Sorted. 60 FPS patches, man. So we got here Burnout, Pursuit Force, checked out Killzone. These are the Ace Combat games. They do not have 60 FPS patches. Wipeout Pure did? Let's have a look at that. I'm surprised that would have been at 30 frames because the Wipeout games are usually pretty basic looking, I'd say. Just got a good style to them. One day I'll get a new camera. You see, when I change the light, you see how my hands just go bright red. So I didn't actually even try this game before the 60 FPS patch. Like if this was at 30, I'd be surprised. But it looks super nice at 60. Along with the increased rendering resolution. Oh. The PSP catalog is insane. To look back at that handheld and realize how many games came out. Can you imagine having a PSP back then with all those physical discs and boxes? Crazy. But yeah, I never really played Wipeout. This one seems pretty fun. There's another Wipeout game on the PSP as well, but I did not see a 60 FPS patch for it, so I didn't test it. But I assume the reason why this one does have a patch is because people think it's good. Because it does take a certain amount of programming effort to get these games running properly at 60 frames. There's all sorts of weird things that can go on, like double speed, odd animation timings, weird behavior, lots of things to factor in. But yeah, mega smooth that game is. What else is... So, I can't remember if someone recommended me to check these out, but Phantasy Star Portable. These are basically Phantasy Star games for the PSP. These both have 60 FPS patches. So 60 FPS on. I first tested out the first one, and then I imported my character into here. I made like a cool Android character. You can switch your weapons on the fly in this game as well. This does seem pretty decent, actually. I quite like Phantasy Star. These PSP ones look pretty nice. Phantasy Star is something I wish I got into more in recent time. What the hell am I saying? Basically, I'm saying I should have checked out Phantasy Star Online 2 more. I played it a little bit when it officially released in the West, but I think I just didn't have time for it. What other weapon do we have? Are these fists? Set on the ground. Ah! No. So I just have sword and big sword. That's pretty much it. There's a lock on button as well, but you have to hold it. I prefer that to be a toggle. I don't know if there's a way to toggle that. No. Options. Oh, my D-pad. I had to reverse my D-pad because all the camera directions were inverted. And for some reason, that wasn't the... There we go. No. For some reason, that wasn't the case in the first game. Okay, so when I find an enemy now... there we go. It's quite fun having to mess around with the controls and get like a perfect control setup for each game. Thank God for the fast forward button. These text boxes are so slow. Oh, you can just dive through these? I gotta turn it off for my friend. There you go, come on. So if I tap this now... Ow. Perfect. Great. Let's have a look at the first one as well. Not that we really do need to check it out, but I just want to. Where is it? There it is. That's kind of hard to see. 60 FPS on. These games have like the same menus, except this time in this game I don't have to swap the D-pad around, which is nice, because that confused me before. I can't see. Camera controls. No. What was it? Lock on? Perfect. I didn't save state after I left the other game, so I'd have to turn that one on again. What's he locking onto? I don't know what he's doing. And what weapons does this guy have? Did he... This guy's got like some kind of lance. Oh, it seems when I tap it, it also like toggles into strafe mode as well. That's kind of weird. But yeah, those are the Phantasy Star games at 60 frames. I'm trying to remember which other games I've got here which are in 60. Oh, I was so surprised. So surprised to see Ultimate Ghouls and Ghosts with 60 frames. Looks really, really good. But I did have this problem in this game with this odd, like, blur effect. So to get rid of that, I turned on skip buffer effects, and that seemed to fix the problem. And you can see here we've got 60 FPS on. And the first level is just... Oh, I'm dead. I'm already dead. So smooth. Ugh. You have to be so slow and methodical in this game. If you ever play Ghouls and Ghosts, get the knife. It's just the best. Armor! Ah, wait, is that upgraded armor up there? Nice. Oh no. I love and hate this game. I like really difficult games. Oh, I forgot that you could hang in this. Oh my god. But yeah, it's so nice to see this game in 60 frames. It's a game that feels like it should be. I'm so dead. Should I do the thing where I play until I die? Oh, don't go in the pot. Oh, I'm tiny. This game is relentless. I went in the pot again. Oh my god, thank god I was little there, I would have died. Oh, you dick. Alright, what else have I got that's 60 frames here? Split seconds in 60 frames. That's glorious. So, yep, 60 FPS on. I made a state in the last video I was talking about this thing I can blow up here. It's so bright. Yeah, so in my next video, I don't know if I'll changed exposure, sorry, back to what I had before. Because on my screen I can see things perfectly, but on the camera I can tell that it's just very exposed. But yeah, this is another game that benefits greatly from 60 frames. And there's a lot of other racing games as well that have 60 FPS codes. So like the Need for Speed games, I think Juiced does as well. There's just so many driving games, and I don't want to like get all of them, because otherwise I'll never play like any of them. I think when it comes to driving games, you probably play the one you have most nostalgia or most memories attached to. Yeah, the split second at 60 frames. Are there any others I can show you? I had a request to check out Gran Turismo. I didn't even know there was a Gran Turismo on the PSP. So on the 60 FPS forum, there was not a code for 60 frames, but there was a code for disabled cheap AA screen shake. I grabbed that and turned it on. I assume it's quite helpful, so I just left it on. Settings for this game, just in case. 3x Vulcan. I don't think we had to change anything. Nope, nothing changed. So I just picked a track that I thought might have a lot of stuff on it. A lot of like 3D models. And this game was already at 60 frames, so didn't need a code. I feel like I've said 60 a lot in this video. But yeah, I'm guessing maybe a lot of people don't know there's a Gran Turismo on the PSP. I had no idea. And a lot of people are saying, can the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus play Gran Turismo? Well, it can't really play 4 very well. It's kind of playable, but not really. Gran Turismo 3 is definitely playable, but I don't know if the whole game is playable. But I don't know anything about the PSP version of this game. If it's any good, then this will be a great alternative. It runs fantastically. It looks really good. At 60 frames as well. These blue line things remind me of Forza. Damn, I can't believe how much I'm loving the PSP lately. That's one of the great things I like about doing these videos, is that it also like sparks my interest a lot in different games and systems. And it makes me feel like I'm just getting so much more value out of the handhelds I'm buying. So there's always like something worth looking into. If a game's running really well, but you want to push the limits, maybe look for something like frame rate codes. Maybe look for texture packs. Maybe look for hacked versions of games where they've changed certain things. You know, like Super Mario is a good case of that. So many like modded versions of Super Mario. So there's like different versions of the N64 game you could play, which are like custom made that people have done on their own. Yeah, we zipped around that entire track and it was butter. Butter. This is Final Fantasy Dissidia 012. I don't know, Square Enix. You got weird name for things. And this also has a Force 60 FPS code. I don't know this game very well. And wow, that's bright. This is a terrible example of why I need to change my camera settings again. But if I do this, you'll see it. Huh, we're dropping some frames actually. Let's have a look at this. So, create, I don't have a game config. Okay, let's stick that down to 2x because I remember that's basically what I needed it to do. So let's just do that. 2x is fine on the Retroid Pocket. I really don't have a problem with it. Oh, when you change the resolution, it's going to zoom in. So let's exit game and then pick it again. And then load state. I don't know if this game is meant to be like Power Stone or Smash Brothers or what. But it doesn't feel like a proper fighter. I don't know if there's like really good moves you can do in this. I've tried different things, but I've never played Dissidia before, so... This is the worst level. I can't see. Let's just wreck this guy and then... What I don't understand is that you can play this with the stick. Like, I haven't changed the settings in this game. But for some reason, it's like... I don't know, it's not registering the sensitivity of my stick very well in this game compared to others. So maybe when they designed this game, they made it so that you really had to like hit the edge of the control stick to really get the full range of motion. I don't know why they'd do that. I haven't checked any other Final Fantasies on here like Crisis Core or Type 0. I think it's Type 0. I think Type 0 is actually a decent Final Fantasy, but for some reason I haven't checked it out. But Crisis Core, a new version of that game's literally just come out for like Switch, PlayStation and everything else, and everybody's saying it's vastly better with an even better combat system. So unless you really love Crisis Core, I don't see why you want to play it on the PSP again. I'm just going to check. We had a look at Dark Mirror yesterday from Syphon Filter. We're going to have a look at Logan's Shadow, because this also had a 60 FPS patch. And yeah, 60 FPS. No VSync is what I've chose from the ones I've added. And we put this at 2x to make sure it runs really smooth. Added these extra options here. And changed this to aggressive. So if a game's is really hard to run for some reason, those are the ones you're going to be changing. But yeah, I thought these were already 60 frames. I couldn't remember. But there's definitely codes for both of them, so... And I've messed around with the controls for this as well. God, I can't aim. Oh yeah, there's an aim button in this. For fine aiming. I can't hit him. Oh my god, I do not feel like a superhero. So I've changed it so that the D-pad and the stick can run around. I think if I look at my controls... Oh no. Oh, how have I set this? So all the face buttons are on here. Why are they not on here as well? Oh, if I was playing this properly, I'd be so confused. Right, it's the right... No? It's this to go up and down. Okay. So my controls here, I've set it to advanced free aim, so The stick is for aiming because that gives you the full range of motion, and the buttons are to move around. I've just swapped like everything around on here. So circle, circle, circle. But now I get to play the game like a proper third-person shooter. I'm going to use the D-pad because the controls I picked, the movement is set to the face buttons. There's only 4 directions you can move, and that is really weird to do on a joystick. So I'm also using the D-pad to move. And let's pick the SMG. Just unloaded in his chest. You still have the light problem in both of these games. I don't think there's anything you can do about that. Holy crap. But yeah, really smooth. Am I supposed to do anything? Oh, I am. I failed. Why is that a QTE? What? Oh, I have to use this. Oh, I've used the stick. Because I've set the face buttons to the stick. That's, yeah. Oh, fuck. That's funny, man. I'm just going to leave it at that. Any more 60 FPS patches? There's a few more, but we're not going to be looking at them. I want to show a few more games. So this is Ace Combat. There's no 60 FPS cheats here. We're just looking at some other games now. Wow. I love Ace Combat. I was my first proper Ace Combat game was Ace Combat 7. I love when you hold the missile button, it will just follow the missiles. This game is too bright for this video. I think I will have to set my video settings back to the way they were. I'm just doing some like fast flying around. Frame rate's not dipping, but it is a 30 frame rate game, so... Oh no, I'm gonna crash. Oh, that's Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. We're gonna land this plane. Okay, is there anything else I want to show? Guitar Man has a 60 FPS patch which works. These are some of the other games I tested yesterday. I think Tekken was already 60? Maybe it's not. Let me double check that. There wasn't a code for this one, but there is a 60 FPS code for Tekken 5.
You surely don't believe you can beat me. Round 1.
Yeah, this already is at 60 frames. I already showed this in the video yesterday, so I'm not going to look at it again. Doing the chapters for this video is going to be hard. But yeah, I've gotten a whole lot of new games to play with. I can't remember if Grand Theft Auto had... I didn't see a 30 frames, 60 for that, sorry. But yeah, you know, I think we'll leave it there for this video, because this video was meant to be just an update on the new version of PPSSPP and also what to do with 60 frames patches. And yeah, we nearly got an hour on this video already, so my videos are getting longer and longer every day. So I will be doing a Wii video very soon. I've been playing some different games there. We're going to be checking out Wii, testing out different games and getting them as optimized as possible. I've already gotten some games running really well, which is great, so that's going to be a good video to see. So if you want to see that video, you know, like this video. Well, no, don't like this video to see that video. I'm just doing the bit at the end. Like the video, subscribe. You want to click that bell icon if you want to see the Wii video. Be updated of that. Oh, man. I'll get better at these. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.